Hello and welcome to Mumbai se Manchester. This is Saurabh. I have a very special guest here with me, Saul from MUSC Kolkata. And today we are going to talk about Everton nil, Manchester United 2. So, Saul, we saw that we started with a 4-4-2 diamond. We predicted that Wanzebe is going to play some part in this game. He did, but he played as a right back. We expected Matic to be the holding midfielder, which you were worried about. He did, and he did reasonably okay. Donny van de Beek started, which we all wanted to see. We had Mino Raiola's agent getting game time. And Bruno featured in the starting lineup, which was a bit of a surprise. So we expected Fred to get a rest, Rashford to get a rest, and Bruno to get a rest. But for some reason, Bruno started, and he didn't particularly have a spectacular game. But Bruno being Bruno was still, on a bad day, he gave a 7 out of 10 performance, according to me. What do you think about the starting lineup? Were you surprised by the way we lined up?
Oh, no, not at all. I mean, this is Carabao Cup, so I was hoping that, we're going to put in some players who generally stay on the bench when we are playing Premier League to start for us. I think we made like 9 changes, and as far as the first 11 is concerned, I think we were pretty spot on with the team selection, and I'm glad that it is so because it's speculating Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's starting 11 is a tough job. So I'm really happy that we were really close with it. And yeah, I mean, very happy to see some new faces. The partnership between Maguire and Bailly had a different flavor, right? Not like the usual Lindelof and Harry Maguire partnership. So that was good to see. Donny van der Beek got some time on the pitch. I was still sad when he was subbed off. I mean, we knew he had to be subbed off since we didn't score. So yeah, overall, I think it was a good team, and yeah, we played pretty well. We dominated the game mostly, so I was pretty happy with the performance overall. The starting 11.
Yeah. So Saul, what do you think about the substitutions in the game?
Yeah, the bench was really promising. We had a lot of faces there who generally don't feature in matches. Someone like Lingard, who's been sitting there for a long time for us in the first 11. So we had that opportunity to feature them in the match, but unfortunately, since we didn't score, although we had so much possession and control over the game, we had to bring in someone like a Rashford or a Marshall in later on to make sure that we win the game. Also, I remember Solskjaer saying before the game that he would want Fernandes to rest, but unfortunately, again, we couldn't do it, and he had to play whole 90 minutes. So yeah, I mean, the bench did prove its worth, but then I wish we could have done it in a more comfortable way.
Yeah, and good to see Marshall scoring off the bench. He needed a goal from open play. He had a great game against Leeds without scoring. So good to see him on the score sheet as well.
Definitely.
Yeah. So as expected, Everton lined up with a 4-2-3-1. We had expected Godfrey to play in the left back role in place of the injured Digne. And we could see that right from the start, our forward press was targeting Godfrey and Yerry Mina. So we picked out their central or the defenders who were not very good on the ball, and we tried to press them and try to win the ball back, which was and we were quite effective doing that in the first 25-30 minutes. Andre Gomez was ineffective for them, and overall, I feel apart from Sigurdsson, they did not have much of a threat going forward, and we were able to manage them really well. We had highlighted that they will play the balls from the centre back or from their keeper to Calvert-Lewin, and every single time they tried to do that, either Maguire got his head to it, Maguire and Bailly got their head to it, or the centre backs were either rushed to a point that they could not get an accurate pass to Calvert-Lewin. So I think we negated their preferred way of getting into the final third pretty well in this game. What did you expect from Everton? How do you think the game went for them?
I think they were completely outplayed from a tactics point of view, and they were also missing some key personnel for them, which was like something that they really suffered with. As far as Everton is concerned, I think the natural playing style has always been to supply balls to Calvert Lewin or maybe Richarlison, like coming from the left hand side and squeezing in. But then I think having Maguire and Bai plus Tranzebe, like in the defensive duties, really helped make sure that that didn't happen. So we totally made sure that we were in control of most parts of the game.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean they didn't even have a lot of chances except for that free kick that I think Sigurdsson took.
Yeah, and in fact, I think it was tactical that Nemanja Matic. Usually, you see a central defensive midfielder drop between the center halves. He was actually taking the left back sort of a slot, so he was on the left hand side of defense and allowing Telles to go forward. So it was almost like a back four. When we were in position, it was a back four of Matic at left back, in that left back area, Maguire, Bai, and Tuanzebe, all four who are good aerially and could fend off those aerial balls coming in. The negative part about that was none of these four are really good passing the ball forward. So we had a lot of sideways passes. So the percentage stats might look impressive. I think we had 65% possession, but a lot of it, especially in the second half, was just side to side from our. I was counting at a point the number of passes between Matic, Maguire, and Bai, and it was continuously rotating between them, and none of them actually had their head up and tried to play the ball up front, which was
Right.
slightly frustrating. But it was a way to cancel out Everton's key attacking threat. So as you see here, this time chart tells you how the flow of the game was. In the early part of the first half, you see the tall blue bars, which was Manchester United a front line intercepting a lot of the interchange between their defenders and trying to create chances. So we had a lot of big chances in the first 30 minutes, which we failed to convert. Um, I think in the first 30 minutes, we should have scored a couple of goals at least. Cavani missed a couple of chances. Greenwood missed one. We had a lot of opportunities. But suddenly, at the end of the first half, Everton came back into it. We had to defend well and defend deep. I think we did well to keep a clean sheet in the first half. And in the second half, it was we were in total control. We had a lot of the ball, although it was in defensive areas, but we controlled the pace of the game, and it was good to get a couple of goals. We would have hated to see this go into penalties and unnecessarily stretch the game and test our nerves.
Mm-hmm.
So, Saul, who do you think were our top three performers in the game? Any standout players that you can think of?
Yeah, I'll start from the midfield. I think although defensively we played really well, we didn't concede a goal in the first 10-20 minutes, which is a very big improvement from a team perspective, I feel. And one of the people who should be responsible for that is definitely Nemanja Matic. And it's just because even if you look at the Everton team, they're not a team who press a lot on the ball, and he had the room to control the ball, hence the possession, hence the the sideway passing and keeping the ball, and then finding the right opportunity to supply the ball forward. So for me, Nemanja Matic is number three. He had a pretty vital role to play for the game, and I think that he had all the means to make sure that he was dictating the tempo of sorts of the game, and yeah, that's why I think he's number three for me. For number two has to be Anthony Martial. I know a lot of people might think that he should be the man of the match because of the assist and the goal, but then he had a pretty good run. I mean, he came off the bench. He did pass the ball to Cavani, who scored a fantastic goal, and also in the end, I was really glad to see him score. He needs some goals under his belt to get the confidence back. And number one is Cavani. Didn't play very well throughout the game, throughout 90 minutes, but what a strike! I mean, his strike it's just a trademark goal by a veteran, a seasoned striker, and it was really fantastic to see. I mean, it was a brilliant strike. So yeah, I mean, he takes the number one spot for me. And yeah, we are through to the semifinals. Going to face City, so really looking forward to that later.
Yeah, I thought in the first half I was texting my friends that I feel that Cavani is half a yard off the pace. He was half a yard from that pass, from that final ball that was going through. In the tackle, he was half a second late. So he it seemed that he lacked that match sharpness, but he 100% effort right through the game, and that's what top strikers do. Even if you don't have a good game, you score the vital goal, and take your team through to the next round. And that's exactly what he did. How would you summarize the game? Happy with the result, obviously, but what do you look forward to?
Definitely happy with the result. We go to the semis. Like I said, I mean, maybe you're Ollie in or Ollie out, but I think as United fans, we need to support the manager, and I think we do that. And in order for Ole professionally to keep his job, he needs some trophies in the bag. So if we can bag the Carabao Cup, it'll be great for him. So we're gonna face City, which is like a big match, obviously, and
Yeah,
it's probably like one leg, so it's going to be a knockout match. So we cannot play the way we played them in the Premier League. So excited about that. Uh, Also, although we had players like Bruno Fernandes who played full 90, but yeah, I think Rashford got some rest. Martial got some rest as well, so that's good to see because we have a big match coming up with Leicester on the weekend. It's on the
yeah,
weekend. Yep.
yeah,
So
yeah,
that's pretty huge, and really looking forward to that.
yeah. Yeah, we are certainly happy to qualify to the next round. But yeah, the Premier League has to be the bread and butter this season. We don't have the Champions League to look forward to. We are going to play. I hope we play a lot of kids in the Europa League. So
And get knocked.
let's wrap this up. Let's get a cup early on in the season, so that we have that mental boost. If we are close enough and going into the title challenge, would love to make it a double, but thinking too far ahead. Anyway, thank you so much, Saul, for joining us. So continue watching our videos, continue to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And in the comments, we'll also be putting MUSC Kolkata's link. So go to their page, like, comment, share, and subscribe there as well. See you guys. Thank you.
Bye.